These are not for you. They're not for you. Okay. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I feel like we've set up this video in such a calm way that really reflects the intention behind why I'm filming this. So we got Winston having his little late morning nap, like his second nap for the day. And I've already got my cup of tea. And basically I wanted this to be more of a sit down and chat video, which I haven't done in so long, but I really want to address the topic of burnout. And again, I haven't made a video on this topic for a while, and I felt like it was a very necessary time to do so because I get a lot of questions coming through my Instagram direct messages. You are welcome to message me at any time on Instagram. If you follow me, it's at Study with Jess. And I do try and reply to as many as I can, but these questions around burnout deserve extended responses, and I just can't get back to each and every one of you. So I wanted to make a dedicated video. So if you do find this video helpful, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and you've got your post notifications turned on so you know when a new video goes live. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well, where I share my helpful tips and behind the scenes. But let's get straight into today's topic. So it's clear based on all the questions that I'm receiving on Instagram that a lot of you are experiencing burnout, but for different reasons, whether it's because you feel guilty saying no and turning down social commitments and you don't want to let people down. So essentially you're putting other people's needs over yours, and it comes from a place of fear of disappointing someone for, worrying that you're not going to be accepted. Almost like you think that people like you because you say yes and it's because of what you do for others, when really that's not the case. But I've found that challenging at times as well, to say no and not to feel guilty. Others just have way too much on your plate at the moment, and I think you're really overextending. You're trying to juggle work and studying and social commitments and hobbies and extracurricular activities, just a lot on your plate. And I don't think that you're aware of your own limits and you're not in tune with your body. You're not listening to what your body needs. And there's also the fact that we live in a society that glorifies this idea of being busy over being productive, where you might feel guilty if you're not always working and showing that you're doing something, almost like you tie your self-worth to your level of, it's not really productivity, but just how much you're doing or your accomplishments and achievements. So there are some different challenges that I've definitely noticed popping up within this community that a lot of people are struggling with, and that's then resulting in them feeling burnt out. So I want to get into my tips for burnout, but also share a little bit about my own experience so that you don't feel alone either. You can come back. It's fine, stay there. Just chill. Just chill, buddy. You've earned it. Winston's in the corner in his other bed. He's one of 5 beds. Anyway, I wanted to share a bit about my own experience with burnout. I know I've talked about it on this channel before, but just letting you all know that this is something that I still find challenging at times, that I also have to pick up on my own body's signals when I need to rest. And if anything, when I think about burnout, it's really a lack of self-compassion. So, I've burnt out because I felt like I needed to work harder or do more or earn more, or I've burnt out because in the past I felt guilty turning down social commitments and I felt obligated to go, but I knew that tickle in my throat was just going to become even worse if I did go out and have a late night, or I went to a party and I was using all of that energy externally and having conversations. So it's something that I still struggle with at times. I don't think that you become completely immune to burnout, that you just become perfect at not getting run down, but it's something that you can learn to manage, and you get more in tune with your body and the signals, and you also just learn to honor yourself and realize when you are taking on too much and where that all comes from. And then you can work through it and let it go so that you can feel comfortable giving yourself permission to rest, because rest is a really important part of life and our overall productivity. And productivity is not just a constant state of output, as I've said before. You actually have to have that much needed downtime as well. So before I get into this one really important way to avoid burnout, I also wanted to just flag that burnout can look different for everyone. And I've experienced all different kinds of burnout. It really can manifest in different ways. So for me, sometimes if I do too much and I don't know my own limits, then I'll end up with like a sore throat or a bit of a cold or a runny nose, and my body is physically shutting down saying, hey, well, you need to rest. Other times it's just brain fog and fatigue and like lack of motivation, complete lack of motivation, just cannot comprehend the idea of sitting down to write any scripts or anything that requires a lot of mental effort. So maybe you can relate to that. And other times it can result in feelings of exhaustion. And when I'm exhausted, I actually can feel quite anxious and overwhelmed and heightened levels of anxiety. And again, that's my body's way of saying, whoa, you need to stop, you need to rest. So mental health and burnout are so closely intertwined, and it's really important to be able to identify those signs, because it does look different for everyone, and it might look different for you depending on what you're going through, what age you are, what you've got on your plate. So again, you need to identify those signs. All right, so I was watching this really, really good talk with Marie Forleo. She's a New York Times bestselling author of Everything's Figureoutable. She's written a ton of other books and she's a business coach. So if you don't follow her, go and check her out. But I wanted to share with you one take-home point that I took from one of her videos, which was this idea of simplifying to amplify. And really understanding that we don't have to do it all, and it's actually not smart to do it all. So one way that I really manage my work schedule, if I think purely about my career more than anything else, I look at what is essential and what's not, and I simplify to amplify. It's also that 80-20 rule. They say that 20% of what you do gives you 80% of the benefit and success, and that's definitely the case in my business at least. So she also mentions this idea of pruning a tree down. If you think about a tree and it's got all these branches and twigs and leaves, if you prune it down just to the core, what happens is it grows back stronger because more nutrients can go through the trunk. And so if you're pruning down your workload so you can focus on just the important stuff, you're gonna have a more successful output. And also more energy for yourself, you'll be happier. So something that I did last year with my business coach is I actually wrote down everything I do for work. There are about 30 things on that list. And then I color coordinated what is essential, what is not, what is urgent, what is not. And I actually reduced my workload by 30%. And that was my goal. I wanted to work 70% of what I was currently doing. And I did, I reduced that list down by 30%. So the idea of simplifying to amplify is giving yourself permission to not do it all and to realize that it's not smart to always do it all. And you can apply this rule in any area of your life. And again, I really invite you to think about, where are you taking on too much? Where are you being really unkind to your body, expecting more of yourself than you really need? And maybe you're giving too much energy to other people or to your work and not enough to yourself. And again, that's where self-compassion comes in. But this idea of simplifying to amplify has really helped me, and I definitely recommend that you apply that principle. But again, a lot of self-compassion too. That definitely is a key factor in avoiding burnout. So just remember that we are all human. I get it, we get it. We all experience burnout from time to time. It's actually all about being more in tune with your body and noticing those warning signs, and then being proactive and taking control of your life and knowing how to nurture and be kind to yourself. So I hope you found this video helpful and these tips, and also just found it very comforting to know that you're not alone, because you're absolutely not alone. And make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram at Study with Jess for more tips and tricks. And I'll leave some relevant videos as little clickable cards up above, and some links to all of my resources down below as well, so make sure to check them out. and I'm gonna go finish my cup of tea and go have some puppy pats with Winston, who's currently in his bed. And I hope you'll have a really relaxing and lovely rest of your day and week. And just remember to be kind to yourself, and whatever you achieve is what you've achieved, and that is good enough. So well done, you're all doing amazing. And if there's anything else you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. Mwah. Bye, lovelies.